Hi, welcome to TedXYouth at Caroline Chisholm School. Thank you for attending. We're really happy to have you here, and I hope that we can use this opportunity to impart some knowledge and broaden your sphere of information through this difficult time. We did hope to bring this event to you in person, but with lockdown, we have moved online. And in the true spirit of our theme Ignite, we will bring you some insightful and inspiring topics from in and around our community. We have 6 speakers from a wide range of backgrounds with a varying amount of talks. We've got education, to language, to politics. We're going to be starting with Joe Rich, who will be talking about the power of PE. He achieved a BA in physical education from De Montfort University and has 14 years of teaching experience. He has previously worked for the Youth Sport Trust, which is a national charity responsible for improving the quality of PE and school sport, helping to shape the future of PE.
Good afternoon. It's important for me to start at the beginning. What inspired me to become a teacher, specifically a PE teacher? Well, I went to a local secondary school. PE was my favourite subject alongside maths. My PE teacher was a great bloke, really well respected by his students. But more than that, his passion and infectious enthusiasm for his subject made it impossible to not enjoy his lessons. That and his references to Manchester United and Badgers. Mr. Paver, you sowed the seeds for the passion that I have in my subject. I then went on to work at a local play scheme where I further developed skills which led me to my university degree and 4 years later, a qualified teacher. Anyway, enough about me, more about my great subject and its potential to be so influential in all of our lives. Firstly, I want to clarify the difference between physical activity and physical education. They're often confused and even more so lately. AFPE, the Association for Physical Education, defines physical activity as a broad term referring to bodily movement that uses energy. So sport, exercise, gardening, indoor and outdoor play, basically anything. PE, on the other hand, is the planned progressive learning that takes place in the school curriculum. Broadly speaking, learning to move, so young children and their physical capabilities, and moving to learn, learning with a range of movements. It's also important to think about school sport and the contribution that that can have, and that takes place, the learning that takes place in the extracurricular, outside of the curriculum time. Now Joe Wicks, in lockdown, and more on him later, has done some great things, but it's important to recognise the difference between physical activity and physical education. Physical education is a statutory national curriculum subject, which means that the government expects it to be delivered at every key stage. This suggests that they value it alongside the other statutory subjects such as English and maths. Further, ring-fence funding in the primary school sports premium suggests that they do want to improve the lives of young people when it comes to physical education, and this is really, really positive. Now, physical education has evolved so much in the last 20 years. Ask many older people for their memories of PE and you'll likely get a response along the lines of cross-country, or a reference to the fact that the people that were good at sport were the ones who were good at PE. Today's curriculum has very few similarities to that. More and more departments up and down the country take a look at this in more detail and look at the development of the whole child. Taglines such as physical, emotional, social, head, heart, hands are more prevalent, and this is broadening those skills and respecting the softer skills that PE can deliver that may have previously been overlooked. I want you to think for a second, what sort of skills do you think you would see being developed in a normal PE lesson? Now I imagine that you probably thought of how to throw something, how do you kick, or a forward defence in cricket. How many of you thought of improved confidence, character building, increased resilience, ability to analyse, develop your leadership skills, provide feedback, and many, many other skills? These skills are often undervalued, not by PE teachers, but by the outside world. But then conversely, they're often the skills that employers will look for when appointing new candidates. My final reference is with respect to emotional and social well-being and the link to mental health. 10% of 5 to 16-year-olds have a mental health illness. 33% of 11 to 16-year-olds have poor body confidence. 92% of 15 to 16-year-olds suffer from examination stress. 33% of Year 6 pupils are obese or overweight. Now, PE can have a proven positive impact on all of that. Public Health England released a paper in November 2014 that discussed the link between pupil health and well-being and attainment. The key findings were that pupils who have better health and well-being are likely to achieve better academically. A positive association exists between academic attainment and physical activity levels. So you can see how important it is and how powerful PE and physical activity can be. So I ask you this, why is PE often marginalised in school or an at-risk subject? Research undertaken by the Youth Sport Trust in 2018 concluded that at a time when young people are becoming more sedentary, they are receiving fewer opportunities within school sport timetable to be physical active. A spiralling downward trend in the number of core PE minutes offered for young people in school sport. They've seen a 20% reduction in minutes in the last 5 years at Key Stage 3 and a 38% reduction in available minutes for core PE in the last 5 years at Key Stage 4. Why? What are the reasons? Increased pressure on schools to deliver academic results is likely, the core subjects receiving more time. Budget cuts, often out of the hands of the schools themselves, potentially lead them to reducing the size of their PE department, which in turn lowers curriculum time. 97% of teachers surveyed suggested that they felt that PE could be more valued in their school. For all of these reasons, it's vital that we understand that we have the power to impact change. COVID-19, PE in and out of the lockdown. Obviously, there are many problems to the situation that we currently find ourselves in. But one of the positives, especially in the early stages, was the increased spike in the number of people exercising daily. In turn, this changed many perceptions of exercise and activity for the better. Joe Wicks seized an opportunity to provide daily HIIT sessions. And while his sessions were not always age appropriate, the engagement in physical activity cannot be ignored. PE and its decision makers have a great opportunity to build on this momentum post-lockdown. The general public of all ages in many cases have realigned their perceptions of physical activity and physical education and its benefits. And PE must seize this opportunity, a chance to remodel, a chance to look at what you've previously done and make changes. Some schools are talking of the potential for PE every day. Many questions are asked, and quite rightly, about how PE will change in the near future and the not so distant future. But it's an opportunity for us to press the reset button and consider a time for leaders to put their core values at the centre of the curriculum. Above all, it's important that we recognise that the importance and effect that PE has had on children and young people during this time and what we can do about it. So, who has the responsibility? I have a responsibility to ignite the passion, the same passion that John Paver ignited in me many years ago. And I don't mean to create lots of mini PE teachers. I mean to ensure that children and young people value physical education and the skills that it can develop. If this leads to a healthy and active lifestyle, then that's even better. Parents, teachers, head teachers, friends, you have the responsibility to ignite the passion and support the children and young people in your lives. I challenge you to do that. I challenge you to display positive attitudes towards physical education and physical activity to ensure that the young people in your lives get the best possible offer. So finally, I want you to consider your preconceptions and maybe misconceptions of my subject and make me this promise. Next time you consider physical education, remember above all, do not underestimate the power of PE. Thanks for listening.